Some of the world's most powerful and influential individuals have some of the most stunning, massive, lethal, and weird agencies, forces, and special security groups to guard against both real and imagined threats. The most protected presidents in the world have rather elaborate structures in place to ensure their protection. In today's video, we will check out the most heavily guarded presidents in the world. Number 10. Emperor of Japan. The Emperor of Japan is completely shielded from scrutiny. He is almost a mythical figure whose voice is seldom heard, but he is one of the most protected persons in the world. The Imperial Guard is actually made up of two different organizations, which are tasked with protecting the emperor and his family. The Imperial Guard is an almost independent arm of the Japanese army, and they are trained in hand-to-hand combat, in use of weapons, and in swordcraft. Swordcraft is an old and cultural practice in Japan, and it is one thing that would be difficult to beat the Japanese at. Number 9. King of Bahrain. Interesting that the King of Bahrain should have such fearsome security attached to his person, considering the fact that Bahrain is not such an important country. Whatever the case may be, the King of Bahrain is one of the most protected leaders in the world. Most other world leaders have their rocket launchers outside whenever they are having summits or meetings, but he brings his rocket launcher as well as automatic rifles with him right into the conference hall. The weapons are in the body of his personal protection robot, which follows him everywhere he goes. The robot has a 360-degree field of vision, heat sensors, facial recognition software, and speaks several languages. It has assault rifles as well as rocket launchers. Number 8. The President of Guinea. Alpha Condé, the awesomely named first democratically elected president of Guinea, is undoubtedly a powerful man within his country, but his inclusion on a list of most heavily guarded world leaders comes as a bit of a surprise. However, there's a very good reason for his security focus. In 2011, political opponents attempted to assassinate him in his own home, and though his security detail managed to fight back the attackers, a 2-hour battle that involves several hostile gunmen and a grenade launcher can make a man think about his personal safety, especially as just a few hours after Condé addressed the nation about the first attack, his presidential guard had to fend off another one. While Condé's security detail is clearly sturdy and hard, after all, the president is still alive and in power. They have been known to be extremely hostile against the media. Number 7. King Charles III. Recently crowned King Charles of England is the most important figure in his country. His security detail is not recently established, however. The King's Guard, as they are known, are famous throughout the world for their red uniforms, black helmet, and identical marching styles. They are also known to stand guard in front of the palace. They stand perfectly still, regardless of the distractions. However, the rifles in their hands are not fashion items. They are highly trained soldiers. His Majesty's Special Protection Squad is another less-seen elite force, which was established in 1983. To top it all off is the SAS to provide backup whenever needed. Number 6. Xi Jinping. As the main man of China, it's no surprise Xi Jinping comes pretty heavily guarded. He and the other higher-ups of the Communist Party are protected by an elite guard unit called Central Security Bureau, which is a notoriously secretive organization. To this day, the most public appearance of its leader, His Excellency Yuan Shaozhong, came in 2015 when he attended a White House banquet, and we only know his highly classified day job because the official guest list casually mentioned his job title. Major General Wang holds a very influential position within China, as the Central Guard Bureau has thousands of elite troops that are tasked with protecting the country's top brass and their family, and because Xi Jinping personally promoted him to the task in 2015. It's probably pretty clear where the Bureau's loyalty lies in the constant turmoil of Beijing politics. Number 5. Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia has been rumored to be on bad terms with his father, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. While it would normally be easy to read a sentence like that and assume that the Crown Prince's security has actually lowered, in Mohammed bin Salman's case, the opposite seems to be true. He has spent over a year increasing his influence in Saudi Arabia's security agencies and the military, ensuring promotions to young officers who are loyal to him, and arranging matters so that even the higher-ups report directly to him. At the moment, the commanders of the Saudi Royal Guard, Armed Forces, Land Forces, Air Defense, Air Force, and Navy all report to the Prince. And with a rumored 800 new officer appointments planned by the end of 2019, it would probably not be a bad bet to say that if Prince Mohammed bin Salman is not the person with the most massive personal security network on this list yet, it's only a matter of time. Number 4. The Pope. The Pope is on the side of the angels by his very job description, but that doesn't mean he doesn't need a few people who can put the hurt on people should the need arise. The Pontifical Swiss Guard have a goofy name and an outfit to match, but don't let that fool you. In reality, they're a lethal guardian force comprised of the best soldiers Switzerland has to offer. The Swiss Guard actually have one of the most advanced collections of firearms in the world. The Guard is the world's oldest standing military, and incidentally, also pretty much the smallest, seldom numbering more than 125 soldiers at a time. Although any Swiss ex-military man of good standing who's Catholic, under 30, over 5'8", and has a diploma can apply. The tryout process is a brutal combination of special forces training and education requirements. Apart from having his own army of Swiss John Rambos at his side at all times, the Pope's travels also often feature the legendary Pope Mobile. Sometimes he's encased in bulletproof glass. Other times he's pretty much out in the open. Number 3. Kim Jong-un. When North Korea's Kim Jong-un visited Singapore in 2018, he was accompanied by a spry guard and tail that seemed a lot like the U.S. Secret Service. However, North Korea is notorious for its overkill, and Kim's bodyguards are no exception. While the Secret Service has less than 7,000 employees, its North Korean version has an absurd 100,000. This elite unit is called the Guard Command, and they essentially serve as Kim's highly trained personal army that reports directly to him. The absolute best of the best in the command become members of the dictator's personal protection unit, and you're unlikely to ever see them unless something goes seriously wrong. The bodyguards seen running beside Kim's limo are a separate offshoot of Guard Command, and the truly dangerous members tend to blend in shadows. Number 2. Donald Trump. The President of the United States is always at the top of many a hit list, which is why the security procedures around Donald Trump are among the very best in the world. Most people know the Secret Service and their daily efforts to keep the pontiff in the land of the living, but the grumpy men in black suits and earpieces are just a tiny part of the president's security detail. The 2 Air Force One planes Trump uses for air travel are among the most secure aircrafts in the world. Yes, there are actually 2 of them, and there's also a fleet of helicopters called Marine One. The presidential motorcade is an even stranger beast, and it's not just because the president's pair of bomb-proof limousines are literally nicknamed the Beast. Number 1. Vladimir Putin. Russia has more than its share of secrets and secretive agencies, but one mysterious security force towers above all others: the Federal Protection Service, FSO. Also known as Putin's People, is an enigma. No one knows precisely how powerful the agency is, but it's assumed that its power is roughly on par with how secretive it is, which is very. There's no real public data available about this multi-purpose agency and its operations, and pretty much the only thing known about its current leader, Dmitry Kochnev, is his name. Like China's Central Security Bureau, FSO is responsible for the safety of the country's political elite, but its ultimate priority is to keep body number 1 safe. That body is, of course, President Vladimir Putin, and the FSO has the power to go to absurd lengths to keep him safe. The agency is not exactly short of resources to do this either. It controls several millions, perhaps billions worth of assets, and its people have the right to do pretty much anything. Please subscribe to the Luxury World. Thank you for joining us on this journey.